So let's jump right into it. And what I'm going to start with is setting the tone for the day. So when you set the tone for the day, you're helping yourself understand, like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm literally going to step outside my comfort zone because I don't normally give myself time for the day, but I'm hoping to build up that routine, and you're going to plan out specifically what's happening. So say if it's a school day, you want to say, hey, children are going to go to school this day. They may be in after school or aftercare, or maybe someone else is going to pick them up, so I have a little bit more time. But if that's not the case, that means you have to utilize every minute possible for you, all right? So let's set the tone. The kids are at school, you either drop them off, school bus pick them up, whatever your home situation is, and now you're going to have your cup of tea or coffee, and you're not going to be on social media. That is literally self-care. Not being on social media, not checking work emails, not calling someone because they told you to. If you want to, great. However, you are setting that time specifically for yourself. Next, you really want to do something for your body and your mind. That could be a 5-minute meditation and a 5-minute stretch. And these are things that I do. So these are just my recommendations. Or you can go on a wonderful hike. Okay, do something for your body. You can take a nature walk around your complex. If you live in New York City, shout out to New York. You could just take a walk down the block. Try to go with an open mind. Try not to be distracted because I know New York is very busy. But based on your area, you want to give yourself the opportunity to just be open-minded and not allow the distractions to come within. All right, so you also want to, let's say you go back home. You want to have, this is if you have left the house, you had your nature walk. You want to come back for a shower. Come back with that intentional shower. You don't have to rush because this is your day. This is your hour. If you're giving yourself that hour, this is for you. So take your time. You truly want to give yourself that moment so you can breathe without having to feel rushed. So this is if you went outside. Now, if you're inside, great. You can go take your shower as well. You can literally listen to some music. Okay, my go-to hits. I love me a good Jasmine Sullivan playlist. I love me a good 90s playlist. Beyonce, of course. I'm also a huge Missy Elliott fan. Put on your playlist that brings you joy. I'm not a huge fan of hip-hop anymore. Shout out to the 90s hip-hop. But if that's what's going to bring you that energy, do it. Pump yourself up because you absolutely deserve it. All right, so next, I really want you to think about your mindful movement or stretching if you didn't do it, on that hike. You really want to just let your body be free just as you want your mind to be free. So really give that to yourself. Okay, I want you to think about your morning gratitude or your reflection. Are you guys journaling? I can share 3 journal prompts. Yesterday, I was happy that I did something for myself because, go from there. Today, I'm looking forward to my self-care day because normally and you go from there. Tomorrow, I am not going to say yes to the children because I feel forced to. I don't know. I'm just thinking of something. You can literally Google it. I'll actually put some in the description because I came up with those at the top of my head literally just now. But the whole point is to think about something that you're possibly going to say no to, or thank yourself, or say something that you did without feeling guilty. Okay? That actually brings me to another tip. Self-care is a guilt-free nap. And it took me a very long time to acknowledge this. It took me years to realize, Naisha, it's okay to take a nap and not have to feel guilty about it. And this came because, I was always on the go, always on the hustle, always with the entrepreneurship mindset. Like, if I have some downtime, I shouldn't be sleeping. That's not good for me. I actually have epilepsy. I have seizures. If my body is just going and going and going and going, I'm literally going to crash. Okay? And you don't have to have a disability or non-disability or anything going on with your brain because epilepsy is not considered a disability. That's another video. You don't have to be within a health crisis to realize that your body needs rest. You literally can just take a moment, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Laptop is outside of the room. Close the door. And that is your self-care. But you have to tell your mind that you're doing it because you need it, not because you deserve it. Okay? You need to take a break. You need to take rest. Okay? And even if you just got up and the kids left for school, it's okay for you to go back to sleep. That's something I actually did today. We just got back from our Thanksgiving trip. Although I'm not the driver, we were in the car for 12 hours. We went to the Outer Banks, North Carolina, and Abigail went to school. My wife went to a new class that she's taking so she can get her last license. so she could become that financial advisor that you need. Boom. Okay, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna create some videos. It's Vlogmas. And she was like, you need some rest. And I was like, no, I really need to get my videos done. I took that nap, needed it, okay? Absolutely needed it. And the goal is, again, to do it guilt-free. And it's okay if you don't feel guilt-free within the first 2 to 3 naps. It's okay if it takes you a while, because this is something that you may not be used to. But if you're taking those guilt-free naps, shout out to you. Keep going for yourself, okay? And just looking back at my notes, I want you to make sure, oh my goodness, it's super important. Hydrate, okay? Hydration is absolutely self-care, because if your body's not hydrated, then everything inside is not going to work out. All right? I usually have my 40-ounce tumbler. It's from my wonderful team, Therapy for Black Girls. And I walk around with that thing like it's my other child, okay? Literally, I am holding it, but it helps me remember to drink water. Okay, only thing goes in is water, thankfully. I'm not going to lie. There was one time I was in an airplane and I need to put something else in it, but boom, that's it. We cool. So I have my tumbler, and it really just keeps me hydrated, okay? And if you don't have a special tumbler, that's fine. Nothing. We don't have to be all fancy, get these $50, $60 Stanley cups. You do not have to do that. If you have a bottle, please fill it up. Add a little lemon to it if that's your choice, or if you just like regular water, please have it by your side. If you do not have a bottle of water, if you got your last $2, I highly recommend getting some water, okay? Hey, how about this? If you want to be really, really strategic on the budget, go to Starbucks and get some free cup of water. Go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a free cup of water, just so you can nourish yourself. And I'm just thinking of maybe the extreme, but you know, if you really, really want to take care of your body, you have to think of additional steps, okay? I also want you to think about your mental health check-in. Are you in therapy? Are you not in therapy? When was the last time you saw your therapist? Do you need help finding a therapist? Think about those questions. These are forms of self-care absolutely on the budget. If you need to attend therapy and you don't have a therapist, Therapy for Black Girls definitely has a wonderful, wonderful directory. And I'm not being biased because I work for Therapy for Black Girls. But before I actually worked for the team, I found my therapist in New York City. So grateful. She was my therapist for 3 years. And then when I moved to Georgia, I obviously had to find a new therapist. I found my therapist on the Therapy for Black Girls directory. So I'll link that in the description so you can find your therapist as well. And I also want to emphasize, finding a therapist does take some time. It's kind of like dating. Make sure the person is for you. Or you may be happy with the first person that you reached out to, as I was. I had a couple of people I sent emails to, but I actually had a phone consultation with one. This is my first therapist, and thankfully we had a connection. What I'm trying to say is just give yourself some grace. If you don't find your therapist immediately on the spot, that's okay. If you need help finding your therapist, I highly suggest reaching out to a friend saying, hey, this is my insurance. I need help finding a therapist. Therapy for Black Girls has a directory. Please help me. If you choose not to use Therapy for Black Girls directory because any reason whatsoever, go reach out to someone, have your health insurance, give you a list of therapists that accept your health insurance, and you'll be able to go from there. And it, like I said, it does take work. So if you need help from a friend or family member, please ask. That is absolutely a form of self-care. Okay? Another thing I want you to focus on is preparing for your own self-care success. Don't say, oh my God, I'm just going to do this 1 hour. I don't know if I'm going to feel better or not. If you put that negative energy into your self-care routine, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're not going to feel better. Okay? So truly give yourself that moment of energy and that time that's going to bring you inner joy, inner nourishment. I'm talking about hydration. I didn't even say the nourishment part, but you want to eat clean as well. And I'm still working on this, but I know if I have some fruit instead of a bag of chips, I love chips, I know I did something good. If I have some tea instead of a big, huge Frappuccino, which I don't really drink Frappuccinos, but there's a difference, then I know I did good. Okay, so like I said in the beginning, you don't have to go on luxury vacations or a luxury spa day or spend a bunch of money at the mall just to give yourself some therapy. Some self-care. If you would like to do that, go for it. Please do you. I love everything I just said. I love it. I love vacations. I love spa day. We live in Ellenwood, it's just about outside of Atlanta. And we go to Spotland. We'll spend like 7 hours there. It feels great. But that's not always a thing. Spending 7 hours in the spa, who's going to pick up my child? Okay, so rather than thinking about all of that, let me just give myself the moment, silence, and just enjoy. That's actually my form of self-care. I don't really listen to music that often in the house. If I do, like I said, it's Jasmine Sullivan, Beyonce, and 90s music. That's what I enjoy. No one else is in the house with me, so I don't have to cater to them. Hence, my wife, that's not really her playlist, but if I put it on, that's what we're going to listen to. Also, literally, like I was saying, sitting in silence brings so much joy to me because I just can listen to whatever I want to listen to in my mind. If it's negative thoughts, then I know I need to fix that. If it's positive thoughts, I'm like, yes, girl, keep doing you, okay? And if I haven't mentioned it already, I don't think I did, journaling. It is something I'm still continuing to work on, but journaling will give you the opportunity. I did, right. I gave you guys a couple of journal prompts in the beginning of the video, but please, please, please take the opportunity to just do something new for you, okay? I truly hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to hearing more about your self-care practices, and I'm definitely going to check in. All right? Peace.